In this video, we are just going to cover define some terms related to formulas from 6.2, which 6.2 talks about formulas. So this is like problem number 1 in the textbook, but it asks the numbers or letters that are placed below and to the right of variables are called what? They're called subscripts. I'm going to give you an example of what a subscript is in a formula. So a really good example of this is the slope formula. And we're going to talk about this one later in one of the videos. That slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And all these are for is that there's two different values that are both y values and two different values that are both x values, and identifies which is which because there's a 0.1 that is x1 y1 and there's a 0.2 that is x2 y2, like that, a first and a second. And it really doesn't matter which one is 1 and 2. It just matters that this y and that x go together and this y and that x go together in this formula. So this is one of the ordered pairs here, and then this is the other ordered pair there when we get to that formula. You may also get formulas that are have capital letters and lowercase letters in them, and it'll be important to distinguish between them. Formulas are going to be case sensitive. For instance, you may get, instead of a subscript, you may get something like the area of a trapezoid is equal to the average of the bases times the height. So you have a big base and a little base, and they may use a big B and a little b, and that's important, which one's big and which one's little. Or they could call them B1 and B2 with subscripts, and that would also be correct. They could also write this as divided by 2, h times big B plus little b, or h times B1 plus B2. There's lots of different ways they could write that because multiplication is commutative, and so they could write the 1/2 up front or write it all divided by 2. There's lots of different ways. The main thing we want to talk about before we get into our examples is this idea of subscripts. And you heard me just say x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 1, y sub 2. That's how I'm going to read that when there's a subscript. So that's it for this video. Just a little definition before we get into evaluating formulas for given values. And I have to go ahead and read some of the formulas, and they may have subscripts in them. So I wanted to get that out of the way first. All right, we'll come back next time and pick up with some problems from 6.2, and I'll see you for that next video.